Hello, fellow herd. Lonely bull in Asia. Heading back, I got my Jamba Juice, a pomegranate, berry, yummy stuff on a hot summer night here in BGC, the Philippines. Today's topic is we're being invaded by passport bros. So, hello, how are you? Good, good. Salon. Huh? I'm sorry? Yeah. A JJ, the lonely bull in Asia. Hard to.
Where you are?
I live here. I'm from the US though. JJ, the lonely bull. You know, with the horns bull. All right, bye-bye. Okay. We're being invaded by passport bros. Okay, so you've probably seen a lot of videos in the States about passport bros, guys leaving the Western women to date Asians, specifically Filipino and also Thai girls, some other Asian countries, but those two in particular. And I've noticed just in the last 2 or 3 months, because of that rise in those YouTube videos and the backlash that they're getting from the women in the US complaining that guys are leaving the US to date Asian women because this is their words, not mine. They're saying they're less educated, they don't speak English, blah blah blah, which is totally untrue, but they're not happy. The women in the West are not happy, but for the majority of them, it's their fault because they brought this on themselves. They decided they wanted to be the guy. They wanted to be independent of guys. They didn't want guys to depend on, so they get what they asked for. And they're not being able to get any dates anymore. So a lot of these guys are coming overseas. So in the last 2 or 3 months, I've noticed that's been happening here in the Philippines, in BGC. I've noticed a lot of guys coming over here, of all ages, not just the retired Americans or Europeans or Australians or guys from the UK coming over here that are retired, they're 65 in their 70s, looking for those young Filipina to date and marry. You still see that. That's been going on for a long time. But I'm noticing a lot of younger guys coming here. And I will tell you that since the military is back, or will be back shortly, in different areas like Subic Bay, Angeles, other places in the Philippines, you're going to have an influx of younger Americans. You also have an influx of younger, it's already happening in Thailand and Vietnam. You're going to have an influx of younger Russians and Ukrainians because of the war. So you're going to see a lot of that happening. I've seen it already. So I call it an invasion. Not that it's a negative thing necessarily, but it's just something that's going to happen. It's inevitable with all the social media that's going on now. You're going to see a lot more of it. So here's my, call it a warning, call it a tip, call it advice, call it what you will. But here's what I will tell you. If you're here in the Philippines as a Westerner and you're retired or you're planning on staying here and you haven't got a Filipina yet, you better find one. Because especially if you're 65 plus, because the next best thing is going to be here soon, and then you might not have a chance. I'm just telling you the truth. That's what I'm all about. I keep it 100%. I let you know what's going on. I decided to take a little detour home tonight to show you the outskirts of BGC and Makati, as they are adjacent to each other. This is on the north end. So just be aware of that. If you're here or you have plans to come here, because I know I have a lot of US viewers that aren't here yet in the Philippines, but they're planning to come out here, you need to be out here. You need to be prepared for that onslaught of younger guys that are in their 50s, in their 40s, in their 30s, maybe even in their 20s. Now they may not be coming out here permanently, but trust me, they're out here, they're coming, and they may be here for a couple weeks, a month or two. They may be digital nomads, so they can work anywhere, but they're here, or they're coming here, and they're coming after young Filipinas with whatever intention they may have. So if you're a guy that's 65, 70, 75, 60, late 50s, took retirement, you're here in the Philippines, you haven't found your girl yet, or you had a girl, you better get her locked down, because I tell you what, they're going to be looking for the next best thing. And if you're an overweight American, or you're overweight European or Westerner, and you're older, these digital nomads, they make it just as much, if not more, than you do in your pension. So that's not a factor anymore. What they make is no longer a factor. What you make is no longer a factor. Now it comes to, how do I look compared to how do they look? And if you're overweight, and if you're old, and you got nothing else to offer, you better, as Beyonce says, put a ring on the finger. Now, I'm not saying you have to go through that extreme, but you better at least have a girl and not be looking, because if you're dating around and haven't decided, if you're being that playboy that you couldn't be in the States or you couldn't be in the West, and you're having a fun time, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I'm saying that the competition level is going up. So to use a college football analogy, you just went from a FBS school to the SEC as far as competition. You're going to have a lot more of these younger guys that are digital nomads that make a ton of money, that are working here, or living here in the Philippines or Thailand or Vietnam, and they've got the cash, they've got the looks, and they've got the age to be able to compete with the older guys here. So, and don't tell me that, oh, Filipino women love older guys. Maybe, but it's just like the Western guys. If they're dating a girl and they see somebody that's better, that's available, That's why they're not committed. That's why they don't commit to anyone, because they've got that option to go to the next level. Well, if you don't think that Filipina girls are looking at it the same way, then you are sorry. You are sorely mistaken, because that's exactly what they're doing. And I'm not saying that's bad or good. I'm saying that's the fact. And I'm saying, why wouldn't they? I mean, honestly, if you're doing it, why can't they? So, the invasion is coming. I just wanted to warn you. If it's not already here, it's coming very soon. So, if you're dating a couple of girls and you got a big age gap, you better lock it down. You better make sure that she's committed and you're committed. Hey, how are you guys? Hey!
Boss!
Hey, boss! Make sure they're committed, because once the young wave comes in, you could be in trouble. And if you don't have a girl that's committed to you and you're committed to her 100%, the chances that she's going to leave you for a younger guy who makes as much, if not more money than you, those chances are pretty high. So I'm doing this, I'm giving you advice, I'm doing this as a warning. I want to make sure that you guys understand that. Understand what's going on here in Southeast Asia. You may have a girl that, you know, she's totally in love with you. That's awesome. And she may be. But you got to make sure that she understands that she's your only one. Because if you're playing the playboy game and you're dating around and you're telling her, I don't want to get serious with anybody, I just want to date around, that girl's not going to be there when you're ready. And eventually that dating site is going to dry up on you because of that invasion that's coming of the younger, better looking, better fit, more money kind of guy. So tell your girl that you love her, that you're committed to her. Get it solid, because I don't want you to wonder what happened when she leaves you because you haven't committed to her, and she leaves you for a younger guy that doesn't have that big gut, that doesn't go out and drink every night, that doesn't live paycheck to paycheck, I guess. So just make sure that happens, because I tell you what, those things happen, and they're going to happen with more regularity here because of what's going on with everything you see on YouTube, on TikTok, Facebook, with the passport bro situation and the Western women that are just really ragging on these guys that are going overseas. But you've got these reaction videos of these guys that are looking at these women doing that, and they're saying, why wouldn't a guy from America or a guy from the West come over here to the Philippines, where you can still work, live very cheap, and have beautiful young Filipino women to have a relationship with. Now, I want to also include that not all these quote-unquote passport bros have the best of intention. A lot of them are coming here just to build their body count, and we all know what that means. So Filipinas, be aware of that. Just don't fall for anybody that comes in with the looks and the charm and the body. Just because they've got all that doesn't mean they're sincere. Doesn't mean they want a relationship or long-term anything. Some of them may be looking at just a short-time thing and bounce around and see how they can get their body count up. There's a lot of guys that do that. I know some guys that do that. No personal friends, but I do know some people that do that. But just be aware of that, ladies, and older guys that are living here in the Philippines or in Thailand or in Southeast Asia or in the West that are planning on moving out here. If you're older and you're planning on retiring, know that the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be, because the competition level is going to go way up because of all the social media that's happening now. There's going to be a lot more competition, a lot more younger people that are actually going to be coming over here. And they're not going to be necessarily all in their 60s and 70s. So there's my warning to you guys. Just want you to understand that. I hope you take all this with a grain of salt. Don't take it all personally, but at the same time, understand that this is what's happening, and it's going to keep happening in the foreseeable future. And with the way, especially in the Philippines, with the way the tourist visa is set up, you can stay here for up to 3 years without having to leave. That's a great situation. If you're a digital nomad and you work online, you can work anywhere in the world. Why wouldn't you come here? You can work cheap, you can live cheap, and you can date beautiful Filipinas. So these younger guys are coming, especially in the military, and some of these bases that are going to be up here, if not already here in the Philippines. You're going to see a lot of that too. So there's your info for today. I hope you take it with what it's worth. Please like, share, and subscribe. I super do appreciate it. Share the video. That way it gets out to more people. Anybody you might know that's planning on retiring, maybe moving overseas. This is good information to have. And hey, how you doing, Hunkus? Great information to have, because that's how it's real. You know, I want to keep it real for you guys, and this is what's going on. So anyway, so like I said, like, subscribe, share, hit that alert bell so I can alert you to other videos that I'm posting. And you guys have a great night and enjoy the evening, and take care. Bye-bye.